Bearish price action leads to a failure of our initial support and rather maintains the support mentioned from our live stream today. Other than fundamental or nefarious reasons, there could be an actual reason for this pullback. Let's pull all of the tricks out of the bag for a potential edge over tomorrow's price action. Welcome back to the channel on this happy Monday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol FNGR. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive in to ticker symbol FNGR. And what you are observing here is actually the 1 minute chart. And just to present, my goodness, what do you know? The 6th day in a row of manipulation, right? So this is just to give you a quick example here so that we can get this analysis on the road here, as I do have a couple other videos to make. But please go ahead and notice that on the minute chart we have 1, 2, and 3 iterations leading from the middle of the day into the after hours trading, where we actually just got a little tiny pump and then failed all the way down to 556. So with these strikes of manipulation, we were able to reach a bottom side of $5.50 during the trading session today, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the next chart here and take a look at what's going on here. So this is the hourly time frame linear regression channel, and this is actually something that I use for day trading, right? So what I wanted to point out here is the simple fact that I'm using the ARQ the sniper, right? Actually, in the previous chart, this is the ARQ composure that is able to identify strikes of manipulation in the market, right? So now sniper, the ARQ sniper algorithm is able to give us several metrics, of which I've actually disabled for now, since I am particularly looking for its buy and sell strategy and its VWAP, right? So I wanted to mention this today or now, because we do have a resistance of VWAP here, and we are using it as a relevant area of resistance, and that resistance is around 574, right? So price action is now sitting at about 556, and the reason why the linear regression channel is because we're at the support bottom of it. Okay, so that doesn't mean that we are going to just respect it and continue onwards and upwards here. It's just valid to mention, right? So if we look at this on the bi-hourly time frame, you can see here that on the bi-hourly time frame, we're already using the resistance of the breakdown from the linear regression channel. But if we go to the 30-minute time frame, you'll see that we actually still have some space, right? And we're currently just below the support from the mid band right here. Now, I mean, I'm not gonna, sugarcoat things. There is a bottom side here on the 30-minute linear regression channel, seeing the fact that we have this, the VWAP, volume weighted average price, as a resistance, right? So that may or may not help us, guide a price action towards the downside. So now I want to point out a couple things here too, right? So we were able to identify one potential area of support, and that would be the 2.618 golden mean at $5.44. Now, this target is a bit confluent with other targets, but I must admit that there could be a fluctuation within this target here, and this is what I mean if we follow along through to the next chart, right? So particularly this is the Gaussian bands on the daily chart, and as you can see here, we broke inside of the Gaussian bands, and we have not tested this mean band as a support. That mean band is located at $5.37, and like I said, right, in the after hours trading, we closed at 556. Traditional market close 563, and there is that potential to where we can drop to 537, right? So I wanted to actually point out the next chart here, as this I know that it's a little bit of I know that there's a little bit of fluctuation here, this being a low at 556 and this having a low of 550, with the traditional close at 556 being the exact place of this candle here. This looks like a double bottom, right? So if we're able to face this double bottom here, then there may be actually a correction towards the upside. And if we do have a correction towards the upside, I'm not sure that we're going to get it right from the 551 or 550 bottom side. There may be a continuation to the downside based on a few reasons, right? And first being this here. So this is a 30-minute pennant and or you can actually identify this as a potential bear flag, right? So this is actually giving us some downside targets. First of all, the target down here, which is very confluent to a few other ones, being the 550 one. This is 547 right here, right? So you take this the center of the triangle, right, and then you apply that trend line to the breakout point, and the breakout point would be right here. That's why I have this shifted back here, just so that we don't get in the way of the candle printing tomorrow. Right. So, and then the secondary target looked at here would be around 531, which already kind of shines some light upon the. I mean, not only the bottom side of this candle here, which would be the 550 with the 547 pennant bottom, but also with the Gaussian band 537. Right. So that would be 531 to 537. Now that we're looking at for a potential drop, right? So let's go ahead and kind of draw that in there just like this, right? So 537 to a bottom side of maybe that 531, right? And that could be an area for us to observe for a potential bounce. It doesn't mean that it's gonna work, it's gonna be it, right? There's no way that I can tell that, but I can give you just some targets that would have a higher probability for a strike, right? So I again, team, there's no way that I can control price. I don't know what the heck is gonna happen, but I can give you some targets, just like I said, right, of higher probability. And then if they don't work out, let's go ahead and continue observing the markets and see what else we have in store, right? So yeah, now that's it for the pennant. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, other than the pennant in the 30-minute time frame, this, what I'm about to show you next, actually validates the potential downside here, right? So this would be a falling wedge, a bullish formation on a 10-minute time frame. Now, seeing that the price action is sitting at 556 outside of the support here, outside of this support, right, the regression here, this could indicate a continuation to the downside. And if we do face a downside here, let's just say that we were to get it tomorrow morning, yeah, let's just say that we get it somewhere down here around the 60% to the apex, right? Well, that takes you to a target of about $5.42, right? So that $5.42 rhymes a lot with literally everything that we're talking about, right? We have this bottom side here from the pennant at 546, 532 bottom, right? We also have 537 from the Gaussian bands. So I think that we are pretty much in line for a couple things actually here, right? So I hope that this can actually work out for tomorrow, as it would be highly it would be really terrible if it didn't. Right, so I mean, I'm just going to point this out right now. We definitely have an SMA 100 here on the daily time frame, very close to the 3 spot 618 at 487. I do not think that we're going to go there, but I have to mention it since it is a golden mean. The 3618 right there, team. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it there just so that we are aware over what those potential supports can be. Okay, but you're already getting kind of my idea here, right? So let's go ahead and just pretend that we were to break out from that zone that we just spoke of, right? So let's go ahead and take into account a trend line from the top side of the triangle to the very bottom side of the triangle and apply that to the supposed area of breakout, right? So here's where we set around 70 to 75% to the apex of the triangle, right? So that would be at about $5.87 as a target, right? So now we have to take into account the center of the triangle too, right? Right about here. So we'll take that trend line from the top side all the way to the bottom side, just like we said, right? And now we apply this to that same area of breakout, right? So now that would give us a target of about $5.68. $5.68. And of course, the area where we break out from. So if we were to break out here, then that obviously would be a smaller target, and we would be looking at a target that's just a sec. Yeah, this target is leading to around 559. Okay, so we do have some things in line for us to at least look forward to. It was very interesting to see the markets pump to the upside today, and seeing FNGR completely decoupled from it, not even using very little influence from the broader markets, right? The broader markets did sell off for a little bit during the, actually I can see how that sort of works. Yeah, the broader market sold off towards the end of the day. And I guess we're going to see the implications of that over the price action in the AM, or at least in the early pre-market too. So we shall observe. Now, the last part of the analysis here would be the RSI. So please go ahead and notice here that the RSI definitely has A little bit of a bounce area here on the 30-minute time frame. Although I mean, it's a smaller time frame. It's hard for us to trust it. But if we're looking at here on the immediate short-term time frames, like 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, you'll notice that all of those are in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile. Bear weakness percentile, sorry. This would be that gravitational zone here. It'll pull us down into bear strength and have us continue on to the downside, in which case the the signal will fail the SMA 14 represented by the pink line in the 30-minute time frame, since momentum cascades into higher time frames from the lower time frames. Right, so hourly time frame still showing a little bit of a downside pivot, certainly in the bi-hourly time frame here, approaching actually it is in the gravitational zone right down here, and this is likely to face a little bit of a downside. I will say that it's not so aggressively pivoted though, nothing like this here. Notice the degree of bearish here in comparison to the one that we're facing now. Right, so now the 4-hour time frame, it's in the middle of the bear strength percentile, so this is it doesn't have a pull to the upside, but it does have a pivot towards the downside, so that, you know, the downside would be more likely than not. And again, it doesn't look to be aggressive, but at any moment that can change. I'm just saying that it doesn't look like it's about to sell off like this, right? So same situation here with the 6-hour time frame. It's actually a little corrective, and it's in the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile, meaning this may face an upside after a short-term pullback or a continuation to the downside, which this would start giving me start giving the validity of our thesis of touching down to the Gaussian band 537 to 531 bottom before a bounce to the upside, right? So now same situation here with a 12-hour time frame in the gravitational zone of the bear strength. That could actually pull us towards the upside. Okay, team. So now looking at the bi-daily, the 3-day and the 5-day, I would actually wait up on these until we do get kind of a more defined outlook from the immediate short term, and that shouldn't happen maybe until tomorrow, and we shall observe what the price action does. Please remember, team, that I only have just a few seats left for the ArcMasters trading course. So if you are interested in this 16-week mentorship, please go ahead and reach out to me at ArcMastersCourse at gmail.com for all the pertinent information regarding the mentorship program, right, team? So ArcMastersCourse at gmail.com. Make sure to reach out to me before these seats are taken. We are looking at potentially starting the first week or second week of November, and this is also news to my students, as they will be receiving that news soon. Okay, team, so thank you very much for coming by. If any questions, you know where to reach me. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night, and I shall catch you at the bell mañana. Adios. Yeah.